And I don't usually share stuff like this, but you don't know her. And so she's a good friend of mine. We've been friends for quite a while. And she said, hey, I've been watching your videos and you nailed it. And this is not to pat myself on the back because this ain't something I want to be right about. She said, hey, you nailed it. I'm trying to remember exactly what her text was. It was about, I want to say like 11:03 last night. Hey, you nailed it. And in fact, I was asleep by then. So when I get up in the middle of the night to use the restroom, sometimes I'll check my phone. So she was like, hey, you nailed it. My friend and myself, who's been with this company for several, I don't know if she said seven or several, but for several years, she said, we got an email telling us whenever we arrived at work to come into the office first. And she said, we didn't really think anything of it because this was, just we hadn't really heard about layoffs or anything like that at the job. Like it has not been happening. She was like, it's not even a big company. She was like, it's like 12 of us on a team. And she's like, we hadn't heard anything about layoffs or anything like that. So it wasn't buzzing around the office. No one was even thinking about it. And she was like, it was the furthest thing from my mind. She was like, but I had been watching your videos. And so she was like, I could tell that no one else was concerned. She said, and to be honest, I wasn't really concerned. She was like, until I got to the office. And when I went into the room for the meeting, everyone on my team was already in there. And she was like, uh-oh, because she was like, it's only a team of about 12 of us. And she was like, everyone was in the office. And she was like, this doesn't typically happen. When there's a meeting with the team, it's usually just done on the floor. Now, what she does, just to give you a little background, what she does is she does I want to say customer service for an online apparel company, online clothing brand. I don't know like the details of it or whatnot, but she's like, she handles the customer service part. And her team does the same. And she's the team lead, by the way. And she said, whenever I saw everybody in there, we were all kind of looking at each other like, what is happening? Hit thumbs up, hit thumbs up, hit thumbs up if you don't mind. Drop your name in the comments. If you're a new subscriber, I'll shout you out. Hit thumbs up. Welcome to the channel. And she was like, I wasn't even like thinking about layoffs or anything like that because again, it wasn't the buzz around the office. No one was talking about it and it wasn't happening. And besides, this was a really small company. So the thought process was, this can't be that. And I've been telling you all for at least a year now that it doesn't, like, there's so many reasons that these companies want to let you go. And it doesn't make these companies bad. It doesn't make the owners bad. It doesn't make anybody bad. It doesn't make anybody the villain. Nothing like that. But the truth is that as far as business is concerned, the goal of the business is to be profitable. They can generate revenue and not be profitable. Restaurants do that all the time. The goal of the business is to not only generate revenue, but to remain profitable, right? And we're not even talking about corporate companies where, they're, everything's out on the stock market. Their stock prices holds the weight of the value of the company. We're just talking about small companies with 25 employees or less. And she was like, I had seen the mainstream stuff laying off thousands and thousands. She was like, but it's only a handful of people here. No way that could be the case. And anyway, she went into the office. Her team was there. She said, I really got nervous when no one knew why we were there. Red light or red flag, whatever you guys call it, red flag. When you get to the office and it's a group meeting and nobody knows what the meeting is about, look, just walk to your desk, pack your stuff, and thank them on the way out. Don't burn bridges. And she was like, all right, so we sat there, and probably about 10 minutes later, somebody came in, and she was like, we were expecting to see like the business owner because the company's small, and the business owner didn't come in, but his assistant came in, and he said she started passing out these forms. And she said, we were looking at the forms like, what in the world is this? What is it? Insurance time? We need to re-up on the insurance, the medical? Like, what are we doing? And she said it was a severance package. Whoa, not even a package, just kind of like a couple pages. And she said it was paying, I don't remember the exact numbers, but a percentage of what they normally make for the next 30 days, because it wasn't just like a ridiculously big company. And so she was like, well, what's going on? Like, why? Is the company closing? Are we failing? Are we not making money? She was like, no, the company's fine. You guys are doing a great job. The only thing is the company's going to be transitioning to more automation. And she said, Shon, as soon as she fixed her, that's what she said. She said, as soon as she fixed her mouth to say automation, she said, I almost lost it. Now she didn't do anything or blurt out loud, but she said, like, I almost lost it. And I know she's talking about, like, in her mind going, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Automation at a company this small? She said, everybody in here needs their job. Everybody. And you know what? Like, she told me this, because I called her before I did this video. She told me this. She said, Shon, my heart broke for everybody in there because I knew, or I had a really good feeling, this was all they had. And I keep telling you guys, hey, good morning. What's up, everybody? Let me know what city and state you guys are watching from, or what country. I'll shout you out. This is not going to be a long video. Just wanted to kind of share, a story that just happened to me, and the realization of what's happening out there to just the average person who's just trying to get by. Texas in the building. I'm in Dallas myself. What's up? And let me know, guys, in the comments, are you guys concerned about AI taking jobs, or are you starting to see it? Because I said on a previous video, by the way, smash thumbs up, I appreciate it. I said on a previous video that, hey, if AI contributed to 1.1 million jobs so far in this year, and we're not even done with this year, and it only gets better, you can just guess or speculate or forecast that it's going to get worse next year, and then even the next year. When this thing may not ever end. What I mean is, when God said, let there be light, light has never stopped continuing to go. It continues to go. It has never stopped. It just keeps going. Well, I kind of look at AI that way. When God said, let there be AI, or whoever created it, it's just going to keep going and growing and learning. There's not going to be a point where, oh, I like that G-Wagon. Ooh, I can see my girl in that. Woo. And all right. So I've wanted one for the past couple of years, but there's some other things that we've been doing. But and she was heartbroken. Like, she was like, Shon, my heart broke for everybody there more than myself. And because she's a friend of mine, we've been friends for years. She know how I think, and she know what I've been saying. Under no circumstance, that's N-O, capital N-O. Under no circumstances do you let your guard down. Under no circumstances do you trust these jobs. Under no circumstance do you let these jobs and these paychecks dictate your lifestyle. Under no circumstance do you allow your paycheck from your job to be your only source of income. Only source. Never let that happen. I've been whistleblowing this. I've been screaming this from the mountaintop for over a year now. My big three: never trust that your job is safe and secure. Never, ever do that. Even if you keep it for 20 years, still don't trust it. Never. There should never be a day where you wake up believing that your job can't let you go, can't fire you. Number two, never allow your paycheck to be your only source of income. It can be a source of income. It can be your primary. It can be your best. but it can never, under any circumstance, be your only source of income. I wish they taught this in school when I was in school. They don't even teach it now, but I wish they would. That, and don't buy houses with paychecks. Okay? So never allow, we got a business meeting today in the neighborhood, so I'm going to park. I'm here early, and I'll talk to you. But never allow your paycheck to be your only source of income. Smash thumbs up, smash thumbs up. And so if you have any questions also, you're welcome to drop it. I'll try to answer it. I got a few minutes with you. And I'm going to put everything on hold because this video is so important. I'm going to get to my meeting on time, but I need to talk to you guys. And never under any circumstances allow your paycheck to be your only income source. Cannot let it happen. If you do, it's going to lead to financial violence in your life. You cannot, under any circumstance, allow it to happen. Oh God, somebody's house is on fire. Oh geez, let me ride by. I see the smoke. Oh no, I hope it's not in the neighborhood. Oh gosh, look like it's back where my house is. All right, so I'm gonna take this ride back here. Whoa. I don't know if the smoke is in the neighborhood or not. I'm hoping it's something else, a yard. Something industrial, not somebody's house. I just noticed it. Prayerfully, it's not my house or anybody around me. Hopefully, it's nobody's house, but we're about to see. All right. Somebody said there's some jobs AI can't take. That's right. There are jobs AI can't take. That's a great point. AI cannot replace the plumber. AI cannot replace the home cleaner, the mover, the roofer, the gutter cleaners, the pressure washers, the landscape, lawn care. AI cannot replace any of those. And the list goes on and on. Anything with physical labor where you got to show up at somebody's house and put in some work, AI cannot replace you. Man, this looks like the smoke is coming right from my spot in the neighborhood. Whoa. All right, getting closer. Man, I hope that's not somebody's house. And but absolutely right. There are jobs that cannot be replaced. So if you're an employee and you want to stay working, you need to become a plumber, become a mover, become a home cleaner, become a pest control person, become something that AI cannot do. Do hair, do nails, things like that. Now, I don't recommend it. If you want to be smart about it and make money and not have to do all that, there's something else you could do. Just be the middleman. You know what this channel is about. You can just middleman that process. So instead of me becoming a plumber, like I can't really see the name, look like Hellraiser, but instead of you going out and become a plumber, and I'm just using you for an example. I know you're probably not going to be a plumber, but instead of you going out and become a home cleaner or a mover, there's already companies out there who are really good at home cleaning, really good at moving, have all the equipment, have all the training, have everything they need. What they don't have is enough customers. And so what I would do is I would say, hey, you guys go out there and become plumbers and cleaners and all that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a system that will find customers for you. You pay me $100, $150 a month. Oh, it looks like it's in. Man, this looks like this is close to my house. My God. I'm like 3 blocks from my house. I can't even, the rooftops in the neighborhood are so high I can't see if it's close, but it looks like it's right around my house. So prayerfully it's not. Hope it's not my house, but I ain't gonna cry about material goods and nothing like that. I hope it's nobody's house. So yeah, but I would just partner with those companies and allow those professionals, we call them ISPs, independent service pros in the program, allow them to do the work. I'll just match them with customers, and every time I do, I'll get paid. So there's a site called care.com where you can go and find like babysitters and stuff like that. Care.com is like a perfect middleman company. Okay, it's not my neighborhood. It is my neighborhood, but it's not my street, not my block. So in the community, we have a elderly section, 55 and up. I shouldn't call them elderly, but 55 and up community called the Elements. Looks like it's coming out of Elements. Now, I will say this, as I look at the smoke, looks like it's dying down, thankfully. Also, I know back here there's a lot of construction going on, so I'm hoping this is construction. It's definitely a fire, 1,000%. I'm hoping this is a construction fire and not someone's house, because these are elderly people back here. So, not elderly, like they have a great time, great life back here. But I'm hoping this is construction. All right, all right, good news. I see a fire truck leaving. So my guess is something's on fire, not somebody's house. All right, so I see a fire truck right there exiting. So I'm hoping this is, whoa, good Lord, this is huge. But it's way in the back where they're still building houses. So I'm hoping this is just a construction fire and nobody's house. And I'm starting to feel like seeing that fire truck leave, it might just be something on fire, not a house. Thank God. All right, so we're getting closer. Oh God, it looks massive. Is it even over here? Sometimes with these fires, you can't tell how close they are. They look real close. I'm in the back of my neighborhood because this neighborhood's huge. I've been driving through it since I've been doing this video. That's how big it is. And I live in the middle of the neighborhood, so this is the back. And there's an apartment complex on the outside of the neighborhood. I don't know if it's that. I hope it's not that. I just hope everybody's okay. The material can be lost and gained again. Lives can't. So, all right, I'm very close. All right, yeah, I gotta be close now. This smoke is right on me. So how did I get to this? Now I'm reporting the news. I don't want to get too close to the fire. It's right there, probably. I should be able to see it after this turn. And then we'll get back to the video. I just want to confirm everybody's okay. Nobody in the neighborhood seems to be concerned. I see the construction workers back here. They're not, like, I don't know. My guess, something is on fire, not someone's home. Oh gosh, wow. I'm gonna have to turn this camera around so you guys can see it. Can I do that? Gosh. Oh yeah. Oh, it's an apartment complex. Ah, that's what it is. That's why nobody in the neighborhood's panicking. It's the apartment complex. It's on fire. Goodness gracious. Oh man, I hope everybody got out okay. I'll show you guys real quick what I'm looking at. There it is. See, they're building these houses in the back, but it's on the outsides of our gates. So it's an apartment complex. Oh, yeah. It's an apartment complex. Man, that's terrible. Oh, that fire's raging. Gosh, I can see it. I just hope everybody's okay and everybody got out. I'm not driving over there. They need as much space as they can to get that done. Prayerfully, everybody got out okay. Yeah, wow. I don't like fires, man. When I was 5 years old, I was almost burned alive in a fire. I know I don't talk about it a lot on this channel, but man, I don't like fires. I was literally on fire, like, not in a good way. Like, I guess there can't be a good way, but I wasn't just around fire. No. Fire was on me, burning me up. You can still see it on my hands where I had the surgery. Burned my face. Can't tell that. I was only 5. So thank God my face recovered. I had wraps and bandages and blisters and burns everywhere when I was a kid. I dropped out of kindergarten. Couldn't go back. I was in the hospital for, I want to say, maybe over a month. Wrapped up like a mummy if you've ever had a burn. Whew. So I remember, like, my body was just like burning, man. So never want to go through that again. Whew, gosh. So I have all the respect in the world for firefighters. You have no idea what it takes to run into a fire. Not something you ever want to feel. Whew, gosh. Which brings me to my next point. Get saved. You do not want to burn eternally. Get saved. All right, so hopefully everybody got out. Prayerfully, nobody lost their lives, and possessions can be regained. That's not important. So, all right, back to this before I wrap this up and get back to the meeting. Uh, Man, they built some beautiful houses back here. Wow. I didn't think that the 55 and up were living like this. Man, they living. Okay, okay. So, okay. All right. All right. So, yeah, but somebody said, and drop a question or a comment if you have it. I got a few more minutes before I jump off. And yeah, but someone said you can, you can do jobs that AI can't do. And I 100% agree with that. But the only difference between my mindset and the average person's mindset, I'm not going to be thinking about learning how to do the job. I already know there are people who know how to do it. That's like being a cook, being a chef. Like, okay, I'm not a chef. There are people out here who are really good at cooking already. So I'm not going to spend, they might have 10 years of cooking experience. So I'm not going to try to spend 10 years to learn just to catch up with them. Now they have 20 and I still have 10. I'm always behind. So instead of me doing that, how about I just partner with them, let them cook? Okay, that's the easier method for me. Smash thumbs up. So, but just to wrap up the story, she got there and get something out of here. She got there and she was like, I could tell right away, Shon, that a lot of these folks, by the look on their faces, they were clueless as to what was going to come next. They were clueless as to what was going to come next. A lot of bad drivers in this neighborhood, my God. And she said, I could tell they were clueless to what they were going to do next. And that's why I keep doing these videos. Not because I want to be right. I want to be wrong. I predicted 10 million layoffs next year in the job market due to AI automation. I don't want to be right about that. That ain't fun. That ain't cute. You know how I know? Because I understand what happens when you lose your job and you don't have any other source of income and you don't have much money in savings. And even if you do, you're going to blow through it at some point. And there's no guarantee you'll get more. There's no guarantee there's going to be a job that's going to pay you exactly what you were making. Chances are the job's going to pay you less. Chances are the skill that you got laid off from, you're not going to be able to apply it anywhere else because that skill is no longer needed. It's no longer relevant. She is a phone person. Smoke starting to fill up the neighborhood. Wow. She is on the phone doing customer service. Well, if she because her department's gotten laid off from that right before Christmas, by the way, mind you, right before Christmas. Think of that. Brutality in the job market. But because she was laid off and her crew was laid off right before Christmas, mind you, just diabolical, just gosh, just cut people like that, like just wow. But you can't blame them. In fact, you can only be grateful that they gave you a job in the first place. And if the owner decides they want to move on, there's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do. Just understand your skill is no longer relevant. Well, I'm good on the phones with customer service. So is AI. And AI doesn't take breaks. It doesn't need a lunch. It doesn't ask for raises. It doesn't negotiate pay. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't have bad days. It's not up and down. It's not emotional. It doesn't have a work-life imbalance. It doesn't have a work-life balance at all. So AI shows up, does your job better than you or just as good as you, and that's enough. They'll spend a few bucks a month, and one AI agent can come in there and do everybody's job. So let's say everybody in there is making about $60,000 a year. If it's 12 people, because I think she said they were anywhere between 50 and 60 for most of the people in there. And she got a little bump because I think she said she was at like 70, 68 or 70, but she got a little bump because she was the lead. But okay, let's say the average in there is only 50. Then okay, 50,000 times 12 is what? 600,000. So instantly that company just saved $600,000, getting close to $1 million per year saved just by letting everybody go. So you got to do the math. I have this conversation with my beautiful, amazing wife a lot, where she's an employee. She's an employee at heart. I'm the first person to introduce entrepreneurship to her life, right? And so sometimes we'll have these little bouts, and she always wins, of course. She's much smarter than I am. And we'll have these little back and forths because she'll see things from the employee side, and I'll see things from the business side. And she'll say, that's not fair. How are these people? And I get it. I've been on that side too. And then I'll bounce back and I'll say, but put yourself in the owner's shoes. What would you do? And she's like, yeah, I probably would. Exactly. So you got to see it from both sides. So the onus is for the employees to be prepared. So you can't wait until this day happens and then you're like, oh my gosh, I got to do something. What am I going to do? You cannot wait until that happens to be like, I got to do something and I got to do now. Well, you're too late. You're too late in the sense that, okay, you could have hedged and protected yourself, but because you didn't, you're going straight into emergency mode. You're going straight into emergency mode. Like this is an emergency now. Right? It's an emergency now. There's nothing else for you to do. You got to go into survival mode. Like that's what you're about to do. You're about to have to survive this. Whereas if you would have listened to anybody, including my channel, and I'm just an average guy who's been through some tough things, and I just tell you, hey, you don't want to go through that. In fact, I'll help you not go through it. I'll share with you what I've learned so you don't have to learn it the hard way. I think people are starting to pull up for the meeting. I got to get to the bathroom. So I got my pool cards. I got to get to the bathroom in a second. So, but that's what I was sharing with her. I was like, hey, listen. By the way, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Thank you guys for commenting. I appreciate that. And stay tuned, man. I'm gonna have some really good videos coming up because I got students that are, I have viewers that are messaging me and students who say, hey man, I watch every video. You telling it like it is. And that's what I try to do. Like, I don't have time to beat around the bush. We don't have time for that. I don't have time to get on here and entertain you. We don't have time for that. Not me, not you. We don't have time for that. We need to execute. We need to execute a plan. We need to get it. We need to see what's happening, understand what's happening, develop a plan, and execute that plan. That's all we need to be talking about. That's all. Because this channel is for those who are like, you know what? I don't trust my job. My paycheck is my only source of income. I know I'm in trouble if I lose my job. And I don't want to just stack money in the bank and wait on bad things to happen. Manifest emergencies and rainy days. Shon, I want to do something different. I want to have another source of income. I want to have cash flow from an asset. I want to take some of the money out of the bank and start using it to help myself instead of using it to hurt myself. Yes, money in the bank hurts you because you could have, let's say for instance, you have $1,000 in the bank and an opportunity comes along. This drives me nuts. An opportunity, and I've done this with close friends. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Right? Case in point. And I know he's probably watching this channel. Shout out. He knows who he is. He knows what I'm about to say. And we were having this conversation maybe 6 months ago. And he said, man, I want to get a vending machine. I said, okay, bet. And because I'm all for anything that's middleman. Anything I don't have to go out and put in the work and it could do the work itself, I'm all for it. In fact, our middleman sites for students that were given to all the students, these middleman sites are fully automated. Just like a vending machine. You go to a vending machine, you put in your money, it gives you your snack, you walk away. Where's the owner of the vending machine? Are they out there helping you, taking your money, giving you a snack? Nope. Are they hiding behind the machine? Nope. As long as the machine is plugged up, it works. That's enough. So the middleman websites that we develop for you, the businesses, they work without you, and they're designed to work without you. And guess what? That's okay. You're not needed. That's okay. Go enjoy your life. But Shon, there's no way I can make money without having to be there. I gotta be there. Like, there's no way that can't happen. You can't just make money and not work. What are you talking about? And that programming that in a lot of you, like in a lot of your heads, that programming that you cannot make money unless you go to work. That programming is limiting you. It's keeping you stuck. Yes, keeping you stuck. Smash thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. Smash thumbs up if you know or you've been someone who had that programming and you were like, wait a minute. Why am I sitting here believing that the only way we can be successful is to, do these things, is to be at work and work hard? And I always say, what's better than me working hard? You know what's better than you working hard? A system that works hard for you. So again, that's why I use the vending machine example. Somebody owns the vending machine. It's not that they're just working for itself. Somebody owns it. So it's a business for someone. Smash thumbs up if you understand what I'm talking about. And this makes sense. So the vending machine is a business for someone, right? But that someone, all they do is plug it up, fill it with snacks or whatever, and go. Same thing with a website. You build it. You just like you position and sit a vending machine, you position your website online. You build it, you put it online. You plug the vending machine up, you plug your website up. That's called hosting. Now your website is live, the vending machine is live. A customer walks up to the vending machine, looks at the things they want, decide on what they want to get. A customer comes up to your website, looks at the service you offer. It could be moving, it could be cleaning, it could be whatever, and says, it could be website design, it could be anything, and says, I want that. They stick their money in, that's the deposit. They stick their money into the vending machine, that's their payment. They stick their money into your website, that's their payment. It's your deposit, you get to keep it. $150, all yours. Now, what about pressing the numbers and getting the snack out? Well, they're going to hit a number and a snack's going to roll out. They're going to get what they paid for. On their website, they're going to say what they want, accept the quote, pay the deposit, and then the website itself is going to connect them to the snack, which in this case is the ISP or the independent service pro who's going to do the work. The cleaner, the mover, the roofer, the landscaper, whatever. It's going to connect them to them. They're done. Well, why weren't you involved in the process? I got a student. Well, I got plenty of students, but I got a student because I always get messages. I got a student this morning said that because they just launched first deposit. I think they're only doing $97, and $97 into their account. Now, they were probably at home when they sent me that email. They didn't. Here's what I know: they got paid and didn't have to go out and do the work. That's all I'm saying. That's what a middleman business is. That's why I love the concept. If you want to learn more about it, go watch the free Blueprint training. It's only like 15 minutes. Go invest in yourself. If 15 minutes is too much for you, then you're going to be stuck for life. I don't know what else to tell you. You're going to be stuck for a long time. Go invest in yourself. Spend 15 minutes. Look at the content. If it's something good for you, if you want to learn how to do it, if you want to have your own middleman business, you're like, I don't trust his job. My paycheck's my only source of income. And I'm not about to sit here and just stack money in a bank account for nothing. I'm going to use it. How much is the program? Let's get into it. By the way, there's payment plans. Also, again, middlemanceo.com. Also, the prices are going to go up. So you need to move quickly. So just to wrap this up. So stacking money in the bank, I said, hurts you because you could have a plan to say, hey, I'm going to save up $1,000. I'm not going to touch it. It's going to rescue me from emergencies. And I'm going to say, hey, first of all, emergencies don't happen a lot. Number two, there are other ways you can fund an emergency without having to just stack money. You can swipe a credit card. You can borrow money. You can sell something. You can hustle. Most emergencies aren't even due the same day. I'm just saying. That's how they get you. So, but a better idea would be, because it hurts you because you set that goal in your mind, you don't touch that money. But opportunity knocks, like it did for him, and he missed it because he was set on, hey, I'm going to save this money for this. And I'm like, bro, the money you need to change your life. It's already in your bank account. The only problem is you designated it for hard times instead of freedom. That's the only difference. It starts here. Change the way you think, it changes everything. Changes everything. So she said, I knew those people weren't prepared. She said, I knew they weren't going to be ready. She said, I knew it was going to be tough for them. I could just read their faces. And I said, I bet, no doubt. And I know she wants these people to be successful, no doubt. She wants them to win, no doubt. And she's a loving, kind spirit. I'm not going to say her name because she watches the channel, and I don't want to put her business out there. And I'm about to wrap this video up. I got to get to the bathroom before I get into this meeting. I love that in my neighborhood there's a meeting for entrepreneurs. We do it every Wednesday, every other Wednesday, and just people who think alike get together. I got to go use this restroom, and then I'm going to get into the meeting. Hit thumbs up, hit thumbs up. Beautiful day outside in the neighborhood. Look at that beautiful Christmas tree back there. Where is it? Where is it? There it is, right there in the middle. And got my card so I can get into the restroom. Back here, okay. Yeah, but like I said, she was the only one who was probably prepared because she already has her side hustle. And for everyone else in there, they weren't prepared. They don't have a side hustle. And that's what I always say. Look, you want to win this game? You don't even have to win. Just stay ahead. All you have to do is fast forward to the day you don't have a job, you don't have a paycheck, but you still got bills, you still got to take care of yourself. Now what do? And that's where you should be every day mentally. Oh, it's open. But every day mentally, you should be there. You should be there every day mentally. Yeah, I got to use the bathroom, and then we're going to get into this. Then I got to get into the training. Hold tight, because I want to say something. I know. This is hold on. Wash my hands, get ready. Hit thumbs up, hit thumbs up. I'm about to go ahead and get off here. About to get into the training. Sometimes I talk a lot in the training, so because people find out I actually run a business. A lot of these folks have nice jobs and they're doing side hustles, so I come and help out and share some stuff. What a beautiful day. I'll show you guys the view. Just a beautiful day. Wish the pools were open. It was kind of cool, but you could go sit by it, huh? What a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Sometimes I just get some coffee and just come out here in the mornings. Just kind of hang out. Never anybody out here in the mornings. Just always peaceful and quiet. All the biking trails are back in those trees, behind those tree lines, by the hills. There's some biking trails. Good fishing out here, but again, guys, share this with somebody if you don't mind. The days of trusting that your job's going to be there tomorrow, those days are gone. And I hate that it's that way. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't find a way for them to keep you. My friend was there for several years, her and her crew, and they were still cut. So even small companies are bringing in AI, and that was my point. Even the small companies are like, yeah, we're bringing in AI, you can go. Like, what is happening? So I don't want that to happen to you. That's why I always said, look, get ahead of this. You already see what's happening. Just get ahead. Don't let it happen to you. These companies are going to let you go if they can. Doesn't even have to be AI. It doesn't have to be any of that. It can just be, hey, we're just going to downsize. Whatever. But you need to be prepared. So those who want to get prepared the way I recommend, go to middlemanceo.com. And also follow me on all social media platforms, middlemanceo.com. And not .com, Middleman CEO. But go over there and watch the free blueprint. And if it's not something for you, that's fine. It might give you an idea. And if it is something for you and you're like, hey, I'm watching your students, they're launching sites, having success, bro, show me how to do this. Then I can help you. All right. See you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Please be prepared for what's happening out there. I don't know how bad it's going to get. I just feel like it's going to get really bad really quickly. This is only the beginning, y'all. Please be ready.